Hey guys, and welcome on into another episode of Picks on Net NHL Picks and Stats. I'm your host, Terry Edelman at TE Picks over on X, ready to break down the 9-game slate. We've got 9 games on a Monday slate, which is a little bit bigger than usual. So, of course, I will be getting to all those. But first, we'll start the show as we normally do, taking a look back at what happened on the last show. Technically, I have to recap the last show plus one play on the Saturday slate as I was filming the show for Sunday. Mark Stone had not scored, did not look like he was going to score, but he got that last-minute empty netter to continue his goal streak. So making it a winning day for me on Saturday, despite a very bad start to the day, ended up being a profitable day, which was awesome. Then going over to yesterday's slate on Sunday, unfortunately, Dursey and Lawson Krause both did not get a point. Both definitely had their opportunities. I think both were on the ice for one goal, but the other 3 guys on the ice got the point. So unfortunate there to lose both of those plays for the Utah Mammoth. And then the grade 8, Alex Ovechkin, of course, as I mentioned on previous shows, with player props, the best odds available were plus 130 when I did the show, but the next morning, more books had the goal prop and the odds had changed. Ended up getting plus 145 for the grade 8, who's heating up right now, scoring a bunch of goals. And then my final play in the NHL yesterday was the over 6.5 here in this game. A nice, easy winner there. These two teams continue to go over when they play each other. And the Vegas Golden Knights once again beat the Sharks, who just cannot beat this Vegas Golden Knights team. And then, unfortunately, Mark Stone's goal streak ended finally. I believe it was 6 or 7 games, but it finally came to an end. He got 3 assists in this game, but wasn't able to find the back of the net. The Vegas Golden Knights scoring a touchdown, but Mark Stone unable to get a goal on that slate. But it's a new day, a new week, and we're going to jump into it here. Mr. Edelman. Hello, Mr. Earl. How's it going? Morning, Terry. 3 assists and no goal for Stone on Sunday. Yes, that's unfortunate, but it's a great day for hockey, for sure. I agree. I'm tired of losing. Time to snap a 5-day losing streak. You got this, Tim. You got this. Sabres tonight at Tim Earl? ? Tim's going to say yes. That's like asking Real Deal Prime if he likes the Sabres. Both agree. Hi, Terry. That was a great game for Columbus yesterday. They won in overtime in Utah last year as well. Yeah, they've had some success against Utah. That was a big game for them. But we are going to jump into today's slate. And getting a power play in overtime definitely helped. But we're going to jump into today's slate. 9 games on the board. I'm breaking down all 9, so we're going to jump right into it here, starting with the first one, which is the Carolina Hurricanes and the Detroit Red Wings. Carolina minus 150 road favorites. Detroit plus 125 home dogs, and a total of 6 here. This one, looking at goalies, Frederik Andersen is likely here for Carolina. 6-10-2, 3.35 goals against average, 866 save percentage. John Gibson likely for Detroit, 16-9-1, 2.75 goals against average, 902 save percentage. Gibson has been really good. Really good for this Detroit team. He has a 2.03 and a 932 save percentage over his last 14 games, going 12-2. So bit of a rough start to the season for Gibson, but he has established himself as the number 1 goalie on this team and has played very well and is one of the reasons why this Detroit Red Wings team continues to win games. Carolina 12-6-2 on the road. Detroit 15-8-1 at home. Detroit's won 3 games in a row. Ottawa, Vancouver, Montreal. And then Carolina's won 4 games in a row. New Jersey, Dallas, Anaheim, and Seattle. So both teams kind of facing teams that are struggling right now. New Jersey, Dallas, Anaheim, all really struggling that the Carolina Hurricanes faced. Then Seattle, who hasn't been doing too bad there in the last game. Detroit facing Ottawa and Ottawa and Vegas, Ottawa and Vancouver. Third time's a charm. Both struggling teams. And then Montreal, who wasn't really a struggling team and had really had Detroit's number. Detroit goes in and shuts out the Habs for nothing. So both of these teams playing pretty well right now. Looking at previous meetings between the two teams, Carolina's 7-1 in the last 8 between these two teams. Back-to-back games going over 6.5. And the Canes have scored at least 4 goals in 4 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams. So Carolina usually scores 4, usually finds a way to beat this Detroit Red Wings team. But this Detroit Red Wings team is improved this year. I think that's fair to say. I like what I've seen from Detroit. Yes, they've had times where they've kind of gone into a little bit of losing streaks, but red hot right now. They've got a good goaltender. I give the goaltending edge to Detroit for sure. The only thing that Carolina has here is overall team advantage and of course, previous history advantage. So when I look at this one, it's tough. Lean Detroit, but no official play here for me in this one. Looking at player props, Logan Stankoven. Really, really close to making my card. Point in 5 games in a row. He's plus 145 for a point. I've faced Detroit 4 times, was unable to get a point, so that's a little bit unfortunate, but of course they don't play each other that often. And then James Van Riemsdyk for Detroit has a point in 3 games in a row, 4 of his last 5. He's plus 136 for a point in this game. And then Andrew Kopp has a point in 3 games in a row, 4 of his last 5, plus 134 for the Detroit Red Wings. So some guys with some value here, point-wise. Goal-wise, Logan Stankoven has scored in 4 games in a row. So if you think he can get it to 5, he's plus 360 to score. Lucas Raymond, he's scored in 3 games in a row, plus 285 for the Detroit Red Wings. Why am I not taking Stankoven? Well, maybe call it a gut feeling, but the way Gibson is playing right now, I don't really want to jump on a goal streak for the first time when he's done it in 4 games in a row and he hasn't really been a hot goal scorer this season other than this current run. So, and I'll just clarify that here. He hasn't, he's only scored in back-to-back games 2 times before this previous stretch where he scored in 5 games in a row. So, I could see it ending here for Stankoven. That's why I'm ultimately going to stay off, but he has been really productive for this Hurricanes team recently. I believe that's it. Power play point streaks. Dylan Larkin has a power play point in 3 games in a row, plus 275. And then assists, James Van Riemsdyk, who was a goal scorer. We've cashed on him very nice props earlier in the year. Now he's assisting. 3 games in a row with an assist, plus 264. Larkin has an assist in back-to-back games, plus 178. Great value there. And then Andrew Kopp has an assist in back-to-back games, plus 228 for the Red Wings here in this game. Let's go to the chat. Let's see what people are thinking here. I do have Sabres tonight, but I don't know when not to bet them lately. But I know when. Oh, you know when not to. Okay. Didn't touch this game, but took the plus 185 for the Wings to miss the playoffs, and you put it on the site. I don't know. Obviously, the Atlantic is wide open. So there are going to be obviously good teams that do miss, and you're getting a great price with that. So, hey, maybe Detroit goes on a losing streak, but I don't know. I like what I've seen from Detroit this year. I think they're much improved. So I want to go there. Plus 178 Larkin assist. Yeah, I'll jump all over that too. Yeah, it looks like pretty good odds. It does. Especially with Freddie Anderson in net. Over. The only thing that scares me with that is Gibson. Gibson has been really good for this Red Wings team. If it was Talbot, maybe I could get there on the over, but We'll move on along to our second game, which is the Florida Panthers and the Buffalo Sabres. Florida, minus 105, road dogs. Buffalo, minus 115, home favorites, and a total of 6 here in this one. Looking at goalies here for this game, Sergei Bobrovsky confirmed for Florida, 18, 12, and 1, 2.9 goals against average, 880 save percentage. Colton Ellis for Buffalo, 5 and 3, 3.1 goals against average, 899 save percentage. Faced the New York Rangers in his last game, stopping 30 of 32 shots. The Buffalo Sabres winning 5-2. And this Buffalo Sabres team has won 3 games in a row, scoring 5 goals in each game. So Sabres have their offense going recently. And in the beginning of their win streak, when they had their 10-game win streak, they were kind of more playing towards the under, getting really good goaltending, scoring 3, sometimes 4 goals, just enough to win. But recently, the Sabres offense has been really heating up. Florida, 9-0 on the road, coming off a win in their last game against Ottawa, a team we know is struggling right now, but they had lost back-to-back games on the road in Montreal 6-2 and in Toronto 4-1. Now this Panthers team coming to Buffalo. Buffalo 14, 5, and 2 at home this season. They continue to play really well. Florida 7-2 in the last 9 meetings between these two teams. They have had success against Buffalo. 3 games in a row going under 5.5, which I'm hoping is not what happens here in this one. And then Buffalo, although they've lost 7 of their last 9 against Florida, they have won 2 of the last 3 in Buffalo. So Buffalo has started to turn that around against Florida, especially here in Buffalo. We are eventually going to see Matthew Tkachuk back. Now, I don't believe it's going to be for this game, but do not quote me on that. Do not quote me on that, but Matthew Tkachuk will be making a season debut eventually. It looks like Marchand is still not playing, but that's obviously a big loss for this Panthers team. First play for me, and this was almost a 2-unit prop for me. I almost went 2 units on this. It would have been my best bet of the day, but decided to stick with the normal 1-unit play. Give me Josh Doan over half a point at plus 110. Josh Doan should not be plus 110 to get a point the way he's playing right now for this Buffalo Sabres team. He's a point in 5 games in a row. Obviously, he's on that top line with Tage Thompson on the top power play unit, and he's just been incredibly noticeable on this during the Buffalo Sabres win streak, but especially recently. Scored a goal in 4 of those last 5 games, got an assist in the last game. That's why I've been taking the point prop instead of the goal, and I'm doing it here. Plus 110, just great value with Doan, the way he's playing right now. Top line player, top power play unit player on a point streak, plus 110. Great value with Josh Doan. And I have to take another Sabres player prop. Give me Bowen Byram over half a point, plus 124. Byram is red hot right now. Point or an assist, either one, in 7 of his last 9 games. And he had 3 multi-point games during that stretch. So, yeah, he's getting 1 point, but sometimes he's getting 2 or 3 points. He's been a big part of this Sabres resurgence recently, scoring goals and getting assists. So he's really producing for this Sabres team. And sorry, I read that wrong in my write-up, but no, it's the Sabres are scoring a bunch of goals recently. Bowen Byram really contributing offensively. So we'll take him over half a point, plus 124. Great value with both Doan and Bowen Byram here in this game. But going back here, other guys on streaks here that have value. Josh Norris has a point in 4 games in a row, minus 120. He's got value. Ryan McLeod, 3 games in a row with a point, plus 122. And then for Florida, Evan Rodriguez has a point in back-to-back games, plus 117. Here in this one, Josh Doan has obviously scored in 4 of his last 5 games, plus 320, if you did want to go with the goal prop. And then assists, Thompson assist in back-to-back games, plus 142. McLeod an assist in back-to-back games, plus 201. Here in this game, of course, Byram 3 of 5 and 6 of 10, plus 167 here in this game. Let's go to the chat here. Let's see. I really don't like Freddie and or Steve. Well, yeah, as a Hurricanes fan, I wouldn't either. I wouldn't either. What's up, family? Hey, Paul, how's it going? Nice to see you. Good morning, Terry. Hey, Brian. Good morning. Flyers money line, get back. We'll talk about that soon. We'll talk about that game. That's an interesting game for sure. What's up, Terry? Late as always. It's okay. We still love you, Sweet Pickles. Finally had a winning day yesterday. Now the trick is to do it 2 days in a row. I wish you the best of luck. Get it. Sabres money line. The Atlantic Division is the best in hockey. I don't know. When the 3 best teams in the NHL are in one division, it's kind of tough for me to agree that another division is the best. But it's to each his own. Blackhawks win 5-4. That is interesting. We'll talk about that game later on. No, Tim, sorry. No. I can't even say that because it's just not correct. Maybe later on in the season, maybe he's going to have a huge second run, but no. Lundell minus 110. I don't think he's been doing too bad recently. Let me see. Got a point in his last game, but 4 games in a row that he didn't have anything. So, yeah, not really consistent enough for me right now, but maybe gets on a run. I was between Byram and Samuelson to score a goal last game and show Samuelson, and what do you know? Oh, no, Sweet Pickles. Sorry to hear that. Byron gets one. He's been red hot right now. There's a Josh Dunn and a Josh Doan. Yes, there is, so be careful. But you can't get Josh Dunn point. You can only get Josh Doan point, so should be good there. But we will continue on along with our next game. We've got the Seattle Kraken and the New York Rangers. The Kraken plus 115, road dogs. The Rangers minus 135, home favorites. And a total of 6 here in this game. Jonathan Quick confirmed for the Rangers. 3-8-2, 2.78 goals against average, 899 save percentage. Did not play well at all over the weekend. And 3 games since taking over for Shesterkin, 0-2-1, 4.34 goals against average, 776 save percentage. Has not won a home game all season long. I believe it's 6 or 7 starts or games played, and he has not won a home game. Grubauer, likely for Seattle, and while Philip Grubauer has been a goalie that a lot of us have loved to fade the last couple seasons, when either team total against, the over, player props against, and 4 dreadful seasons with Seattle. He had 3.07 goals against average, 890 save percentage during that stretch. This year, 8-3-2, 2.27 goals against average, 925 save percentage. Grubauer has turned things around big time this season. So, and it hasn't just been, he's been good for a couple games. He's been good pretty much all year long for this Kraken team. Kraken or pass. The Rangers at home as favorites is not right. They should not be favorites. Even I know home ice is supposed to be an advantage, and you're supposed to give the better odds to the home team. Obviously, if they're somewhat similar, but no. Now, the one thing the Rangers do have in their corner is they've dominated this Kraken team since Seattle joined the NHL. 7-1-1 all time against the Kraken. So Kraken have not had success against this Rangers team. 6 of the 9 games went under 5.5. So usually these two teams play in very low-scoring games with the Rangers finding a way to win. But the way these two teams are playing right now, it's Seattle or pass for me. And Kraken, they've lost back-to-back games. They had their win streak snapped before those. And the two teams they lost to here, 3-2 in overtime to Minnesota, 3-2 against the Carolina Hurricanes. The New York Rangers are not the Carolina Hurricanes or the Minnesota Wild. That's for sure. And the previous 3 games, Seattle scored 7, 5, 4. I think the Kraken team total over is a good look. I think Kraken money line is a good look. This Rangers team is just a total mess. Total mess right now heading into this game. But looking at guys with point props here, are Temi Panarin over 1.5 points, 4 of his last 5, plus 192. Did not do it in his last game. I would not take that against Grubauer the way he's playing. The best guy with value here would be Matty Beniers, who has a point in 4 games in a row, minus 115. Here in this one, Matty Beniers and Mika Zibanejad have both scored in back-to-back games, plus 280 for Beniers, plus 205 for Zibanejad. Power play, the New York Rangers, power play has actually been pretty decent recently. But they'll have to do it on home ice now. Zibanejad, a power play point, 4 of his last 5 games, plus 250. Panarin, 3 of 5, plus 190. Trocheck, 3 of 5, plus 300. And then Jared McCann and Jordan Eberle both have power play points in 3 of 5. Plus 310 for McCann, plus 375 for Eberle. Panarin has an assist in 6 games in a row, minus 117. McCann, 4 of his last 5 games, plus 150. Mika Zibanejad, 4 of his last 5 games, plus 110. Heading into this game. We'll go to the chat here. Sabres money line, I'm getting paid again. Well, yeah, I can't. Right now, if you're betting against the Sabres, you're not doing too well. You're not doing too well. Earlier on in the year, yeah, you were doing fine, but not now. Not now. Rangers, Tim. No. First name, Josh. Okay, nice. So Real Deal Prime's name is Josh, I think. Cabo Caco back in MSG Revenge, but I don't bet Kraken they can't score. Yeah, but they will be getting to face Jonathan Quick here. Jonathan likes him. Caco plus 380. Yeah, I think he played one game against the Rangers here. Yeah, one game. Didn't get anything in that game. Only one shot on goal too. So, but now coming back, I don't know if that was in Seattle or not, but we'll face the Rangers here in this one. But our next game is the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Philadelphia Flyers. The Lightning, minus 150, road favorites. Philadelphia, plus 125, home dogs, and a total of 6 here. And this one, in net for Tampa Bay is Jonas Johansson, 9-6-1, 2.83 goals against average, 894 save percentage. Dan Vladar, starting here for Philly, 16-6-4, 2.35 goals against average, 909 save percentage here in this one. Goalie advantage does go to Dan Vladar, who's been the better goalie this year, but Johansson, not an auto fade like he has been in the past, mainly when he was with Buffalo and a little bit with Carolina. How are these two teams doing recently? Well, because Buffalo has been winning so many games and they're so hot right now, some people might be forgetting about what this Tampa Bay Lightning team has done. Because they have won 9 games in a row, and they're scoring goals. 6 against Carolina, 4 against St. Louis, 4 against Florida, 5 against Montreal, shootout, but for team total counts. 4-3 overtime against 4th against Anaheim, 5 against LA, 7 against San Jose, 4 against Colorado, and 7 against Philadelphia. This Lightning team is dangerous right now. Especially offensively, 15-4-3 on the road. The Flyers, 12-6-5 at home. They've been great at home throughout this season, but they've lost back-to-back games. 2-1 overtime against Toronto, and then obviously 7-2 against this Tampa Bay Lightning team. But Vladar will be in net here for this one, which is a big difference. Tampa Bay has won both meetings against the Flyers this year, 3-0, and obviously 7-2 in the last game. Looking at previous meetings between these two teams, Tampa Bay 10-2-2 in the last 14 meetings, and in their last 9 wins against Philadelphia, they've covered the puck line in all 9. So when they do beat this Flyers team, they beat them by margin for the most part. Obviously, these two teams facing each other again in the same. They just played each other in Philly the other day. Now playing each other in Philly again. It is very difficult to win, especially in the same building back to back in the regular season. But if you think I'm betting against this Tampa Bay team right now, no chance. No chance. For me here, give me Darren Radish over half a point, minus 120 here in this one. Radish has been really, really hot for this Lightning team right now. Points in 5 consecutive games and 4 multi-point games. Been great on the road. 0.7 of his last 8 games on the road. 5 multi-point games during that stretch. Top line or top defensive pair, top power play. Radish has just been incredibly consistent for this Lightning team. They're scoring goals, a lot of goals right now. So I'm going to take Darren Radish over half a point, minus 120. Nikita Kucherov has multiple points in 8 games in a row. I was very close to pulling the trigger on Nikita Kucherov over 1.5 points. I'm seeing it around plus 118, plus 115. I'd like a little bit better number for 2 points, just because that is still a lot, especially with Vladar in net now. But Kucherov, as I said, multiple points in 8 games in a row, multiple points in 5 of 8 against Philadelphia, including a 3-point game, a 4-point game, a 3-point game, a 4-point game. So Kucherov has had a lot of success against the Flyers. So if you want to take his over 1.5 point, and a parlay piece here for the slate that I just couldn't get to as a single play, Brandon Hagel, over half a point, minus 130. He is a point in 5 games in a row, and 8 of his last 9 against the Philadelphia Flyers. So he's a Flyers killer. The issue is that he has an assist in 6 of those 9. He scored in back-to-back. Maybe you could, the anytime goal is plus 225 and the assist is plus 170. So maybe you want to split a bet on, if you don't want to use it as a parlay piece, maybe go half on goal and half on assist of your bet. But Brandon Hagel completely owns this Flyers team. But at minus 130, I just can't get to the point prop. Can't get to the point prop there, but great value though still. Christian Dvorak has a point 3 games in a row for the Flyers, minus 110. And I think that's about it. Goal streaks. Kucherov 4 or 5, plus 150. Brandon Hagel has scored in 3 games in a row, plus 225. And then 0.3 games in a row, 3 of 5, plus 195. Konechny, 3 of 5, but he's day-to-day, may or may not play. Here, I believe he's a game-time decision. Kucherov has a power play point in 4 of his last 5 games, plus 120. And an assist in 5 games in a row, but minus 200. Have to be a parlay piece. Darren Radish has an assist in 4 or 5, plus 120. So if you didn't want to go with the point prop, you could go with the assist prop, but minus 120, plus 120, not a big enough difference for me. And then Christian Dvorak has an assist in 3 games in a row for the Philadelphia Flyers here in this game. I like Beniers and McCann stack, plus 150 on Fanatics, but that's the only place I looked. Okay. Yeah, not a bad look. Not a bad look. Vladar is 2-2 versus Tampa with a 4.25 goals against average. The 2-2 looks good, but goals against average, not so much. He's been playing great this year, but this is going to be a rough team to face at this point in time. Darren Radish assist has been lifeblood for me, sticking with it. Hey, can't talk you off it. Can't talk you off it. Yes, Tampa 4+ in all 9 wins during this streak. Yeah, they've been absolutely red hot. Then I take Radish point and stack it with Point Kucherov. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. Kucherov over 1.5 points is plus 126 at FanDuel. Okay, 8 straight and 17 of the last 22 games overall. Yeah, like I said, just about made my card. I left it off, but was close. Was close to making my card. Tampa Bay would be the number 1 Eastern Conference team in the NHL in power rankings. In your power rankings, you have them as the number 1 team in the East. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. Owen Tippett under 0.5 point. Minus 148 plus Tampa money line is plus 131. Wow. Okay. Interesting. You guys know I'm not one that bets under under player props, but there are people that like to do that. So hey, best of luck. But moving on along to our next game, which just happens to be the member play of the day. Make sure to hit the join button on the YouTube channel. $4.99 a month. Gets you early access to videos that I do post. Not so much videos right now, but you get all my plays on Saturdays, and then you get one member play. Should be one a day, but some days there won't be one depending on the cards and stuff. But today, premium play over on picksandparlays.net in this game, which members will get in the post section after the show is done. But looking at this one, Vancouver plus 155, road dogs. Montreal minus 185, home favorites, and a total of 6.5 here in this one. Nikita Tolopilo is likely to start in net for Vancouver. 2-1, 2.74 goals against average, 9.11 save percentage. Jakub Dobish for Montreal, 13-5-3, 3.01 goals against average, 8.89 save percentage. And Dobish has not played in nearly 2 weeks. So he hasn't played in a while. But he has been very good after not playing for a while. I don't have the exact stats on that, and I can't remember exactly who told me that. But Dobish has been good when getting time off. So looks like he will get the start here in this one. Taking a look at how these two teams have done against each other. Montreal has won the last 3 meetings between the two teams. 6 overs, 1 under, and a push for a total 6. So in the recent meeting, 6 overs, 2 unders between these two teams. Looking at player props here, not a whole lot. Obviously, the Montreal Canadiens getting shut out in their last game, so point streaks came to an end. But Slafkovsky, Kapanen, and Demidov line, the second line for the Habs, were doing really well prior to that last game. DeBrusk has been hot recently, points in 3 of 5, but in 7 of 9 against Montreal. So DeBrusk likes to face the Habs. Plus 106 for DeBrusk to get a point here in this one. I think that's basically it for point props. Goals, Jake DeBrusk, Oliver Kapanen, both goals in 3 of 5. Both didn't score in their last game, though. DeBrusk plus 260 and Kapanen plus 280. And then assists, guys in 3 of 5. Slafkovsky plus 137. Brock Besser plus 210, Filip Hronek plus 172 here in this game. Go to the chat here. Let's see. Hagel point and Radish assist is plus 234. I like it. I like it. Like I said, Hagel point is a great parlay piece at minus 130. I think you could put it with a lot of things. The way he's doing and his success against Tampa Bay. And then obviously I'm on Radish point, but he's been assisting, so I like it. Lane Hudson over 1.5 points, plus 205. Okay, Robert likes Hudson to have a big game. Tampa. Yeah, I think that's what you're trying to say, Tampa. It probably should be a Habs puck line here, but I kind of lean the draw. Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. But we will move on along to our next game, the New Jersey Devils and the Minnesota Wild. The Devils plus 145 road dogs, the Wild minus 170 home favorites, and a total of 6 here in this game. This one is, of course, interesting. Of course, I find this game interesting. That shouldn't surprise anybody. But when I look at this game here, the New Jersey Devils coming in here on the second night of a back-to-back, losing to the Winnipeg Jets, who have now won back-to-back games. But the Devils starting Jacob Markstrom here, 10-10-1, 3.48 goals against average, 878 save percentage. He will be going against Jesper Wallstedt, 12-2-4, 2.28 goals against average, 926 save percentage. Quite a big difference there between these two goalies. Obviously, Minnesota has the huge goalie advantage here. Looking at how these two teams have been playing recently, well, the Wild kind of coming down to earth here. They've lost 3 of their last 4 games. Now, they have gone to overtime in 2 of those 3, but they've still lost 3 of 4. The Devils have lost 4 games in a row, 3-1 to Carolina, 9-0 to the Islanders, 4-1 to Pittsburgh, and then 4-3 in their last game to the Winnipeg Jets. How do these two teams do against each other? Well, the Devils play very well against this Wild team in recent years. The Devils have won 5 games in a row against the Wild. Now, the Wild had won the previous 5 before that. Back-to-back games going under 5.5 between these two teams. But the Devils 6-1-1 in their last 8 in Minnesota, and 6 of the last 7 between these two in Minnesota has gone over 6.5. So we tend to get very high-scoring games with the Devils finding a way to win when these two teams face each other in Minnesota. Now, do I think the Devils are going to light up Jesper Wallstedt? No, I don't. The way this Devils team is playing right now, I definitely don't. But I am hoping there's at least 1 goal and 2 players on the Devils team can get a point on that 1 goal, and then that's it. That's it. It's the Hughes Bowl. Give me the Hughes Bowl parlay. We've done this in the past on the show. Of course, we have to do it here. Jack Hughes over 0.5 point, Luke Hughes over 0.5 point, and Quinn Hughes over 0.5 point, plus 275 for all 3 Hughes brothers to record a point. Half unit play for me here in this one. Have to take the Hughes brothers in this spot. I think Quinn has a big game. Jack and Luke both on point streaks, back-to-back games. They're going to want to play well against their brother here, and the Devils have had success against this Wild team. So we'll go with all 3 Hughes brothers to get a point. And if I think Quinn Hughes is going to have a big night, which I do, I have to take his defensive partner to get a point. Brock Faber over 0.5 point plus 130. Faber has been really noticeable offensively since the Wild acquired Quinn Hughes. Of course, when you have Quinn Hughes playing with you, that's going to drive up your offense. But Faber has a point 4 games in a row, 2 multi-point games during that stretch, an assist in 4 games in a row, and he scored in 2 of 3. So he's kind of doing both goal and assisting recently. And I like Quinn Hughes to have a big night. His defensive partner here, Brock Faber, plus 130 just to get a point here in this game. And then when it comes to the side, I'm not betting anything in this game, and I could not recommend people to take the Wild in this spot. Yes, obviously they have the goalie advantage in Wallstedt. Yes, this Devils team is a mess, but the Wild are pretty big favorites here, and the Devils have had their number, especially in Minnesota. So no side play for me. Of course, you guys know who I want to win. We'll go with Faber point, and we'll go with the Hughes brothers, all to record a point here in this game. Tampa has scored 4+ in 21 of 27 wins this season. And over the past 2 seasons, they've scored 4+, and 94 of 119 wins. Wow. So if you like them, you like their team total over as well. Terry is salivating at this Wild Devils matchup. Not really, but I'm excited for it, of course. Wild first period puck line +138. New Jersey's 1-6-2 in the last 9 after the opening 20, and the Wild are 5-0-3 after the first opening 20 in their last 8. I like it. There are first period numbers right there. And it's great when you've got one team that's hot against one team that's cold. So I can see why you're on that, JD. I like it. The Hughes Bowl. Quinn, Luke, Jack over 1.5 points each and over 6 plus 2,400. Whoa, Robert. You're going pretty big there. But hey, maybe the Luke and Jack at 2 points each, but I hope not, because for Volstead, I don't want his numbers to go badly, obviously. Devils Wild draw +320 and not on the site. Yeah, when I do draws, I don't put them on the site either, so I don't blame you. Overtime, I could see it. The Wild have been going to overtime recently, so I could see it. But Fireside says no. He does not want them to go to overtime. He likes the Wild in reg. I hope you win. Jesper St. Paulstedt. There you go. Tim says, oh my God, this other Tim. Or not this other Tim, but another Tim. One of our Tims. Quinn 2+, and Luke Jack 1+ 800. How? That's it. That's the way to go. I like that better. I do like that better. Hughes has been getting multiple points in some games recently, not overly consistent, but he's going to be motivated here for sure. Jesper Bratt probably scores on Jesper St. Paulstedt just because. All right. Wild team total over 3.5 plus 106. 7 of their 8 wins with Quinn. They have scored 4 more goals or more. I like it. But looking at other players who are doing well in this game, besides, there's no value for Zuccarello. 4 of his last 5 at the point, but no value. Not really a lot with point props. Value-wise, same thing with goals. Not a lot of guys on goal streaks or power play point streaks. Faber assists, 4 games in a row plus 186 is basically, so not a lot of consistent point streaks here in this game. The play won't be posted until after the live, right? Yes. Once the live show is done, then I'll post it on the membership section. So you'll see it there. But we've got 3 more games left. Starting with this one, the Edmonton Oilers and the Chicago Blackhawks. The Oilers -160 road favorites. The Hawks +135 home dogs, and a total of 6.5 here in this one. For Edmonton in goal, Connor Ingram confirmed. 3-2-1, 2.98 goals against average, 891 save percentage. Spencer Knight likely for the Hawks, 13, 11, and 6. 2.61 goals against average, 910 save percentage. Didn't play in the last 2 games or dress for Chicago at all because of the illness that's going around the Hawks locker room. But looks like he will be good to go here to make the start in tonight's game. How have these 2 teams been doing recently? Well, the Oilers had won back-to-back games against Nashville and Winnipeg, but coming off a 4-3 loss to the LA Kings. And the Edmonton Oilers have been involved in some high-scoring games. 6-2 loss to Boston, 5-2 loss to Philly, 6-2 win against Nashville, 4-3 win against Nashville, and then a 4-3 shootout loss to the Kings. So a lot of 6 consecutive overs there for Edmonton. The Blackhawks, how are they doing heading into this game? Well, they knew Connor Bedard was coming back soon, and they started to heat up right before he came back. The Hawks, 5-1. 5 wins, 1 loss in their last 6 games. They're playing pretty well. Beating teams like Dallas, Washington, Vegas, St. Louis, which isn't too impressive. Then they lost to Washington in the rematch, but then they beat Nashville 3-0 in their last game. So the Hawks playing pretty well. The Edmonton Oilers kind of up and down. How do these two teams do against each other? Well, Edmonton has won 9 in a row between these two teams, which shouldn't surprise anybody. Obviously, the Hawks have been a rebuilder. The Oilers have been a Stanley Cup contender, I guess you could say, because they go to the Stanley Cup. They don't win, but they get there. Sorry, Oilers fans. 3 of the last 4 meetings between these two have gone over 6.5, and back-to-back games between these two teams have gone to overtime. When I look at this one here, the value is on Chicago, plus 135. They are going to end their losing streak to Edmonton eventually. Is this the spot? I'm not sure. I think the draw is a good play, though. I think these two teams could go to overtime again. And the Oilers are an over machine right now. Chicago's gone under 6.5 and 4 or 5. Obviously, that 7-3 win against the Blues. Every other game under, but I could see this being a higher scoring game. I could see this game going to overtime. And then who wins? I don't know. Maybe the Hawks finally slay the dragon, but I don't want to back them here against this team. Guys on point streaks, Tyler Bertuzzi, 3 of 5, plus 100. Here in this one. Goal streaks, Connor McDavid, 4 games in a row with a goal, plus 112. Heading into this game. Power play point streaks, Connor McDavid and Evan Bouchard, both power play points in 4 games in a row. McDavid, plus 105. Bouchard, plus 185. Assist streaks, Connor Bedard has an assist in 4 of his last 5 games, plus 105. And Ryan Nugent-Hopkins has an assist in 4 games in a row, minus 105 here in this game. Let's go to chat. Hawks money line. Yeah, can't go against you. Almost bet Chicago, but pass. Only 3 points out for a wildcard spot. Yeah, that's the NHL standings this year. Nobody's out until they're out, which might not be for a while. Oilers money line, McDavid over 1.5 points, plus 123, same game parlay. Is anyone like Lardis tonight? I got a feeling he's been heating up. And Ian Cameron, of course, host of the Ice Guys, obviously mentioned to me there when I was doing the show with him that Lardis is a Hamilton guy, born in the city that I live in. So I'm cheering for him. Hope he scores. I like Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. He's so underrated. Yeah, because people don't talk about him because McDavid and Draisaitl, so he kind of gets undervalued. But 2 more games left, the 2 late games here, the Dallas Stars and the LA Kings. Dallas minus 120, road favorites. The Kings plus 100, home dogs, and a total of 6 here in this game. Looking at this game here, no confirmed goalies. Jake Ondra unconfirmed and Darcy Kemper unconfirmed here in this one. How have these teams done against each other in the past? Dallas 6-1-2 in the last 9 meetings between the two teams, and 5 of the last 7 going under 5.5. So usually some low scoring games here between these two teams, with Dallas finding a way to win. I do have a premium play in this game available over on picksandparlays.net. So go and get it. Link is in the description below. And use code NEW26 to get 26% off the play. Anything you buy on the site right now. But looking at this game from a player prop perspective, Quinton Byfield has a point in 4 of his last 5 games, minus 119. Alex Laferriere has a point in 4 or 5, plus 117. Corey Perry has a point in 4 or 5, plus 128 here. So some guys point props with value. Goal streaks here. Jason Robertson, 3 of 5. He's starting to heat up again goal-wise, plus 140. Rantanen and Corey Perry, 3 of 5, plus 180 for Rantanen, plus 380 for Corey Perry. Power play point, Corey Perry, 4 of his last 5 games, plus 450. And then assist streaks, Robertson, 4 of his last 5 games, 7 of his last 10, plus 105. Rantanen, minus 130 for an assist, so no value there for Mikko Rantanen. Let's go to the chat here. Stars money line to finish the night. All right. Largest bet today is the Kraken. Yeah, I can't talk you off that. Betting against the Rangers at home, you've been making money. First period over 1.5 in Dallas, LA. All right. I don't have first period numbers, but I wish you luck. Final game of the night. We've got the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Colorado Avalanche. The Leafs plus 210 road dogs. The Avs minus 260 home favorites, and a total 6.5. Here in this one, Joseph Woll unconfirmed for Toronto. 10-4-2, 2.52 goals against average, 919 save percentage. Trent Miner confirmed for Colorado. 1-0-2, but a 1.38 goals against average and a 945 save percentage, one shutout. I believe that was in his most recent game. It doesn't matter who starts in net for this Avalanche team. They all just have amazing numbers. So maybe that tells you something about this Avalanche team. They might be a little good. Maybe. They might be good a little bit. No, obviously they're great. But looking at this game here, the Toronto Maple Leafs come into this game playing pretty well and starting to get some wins on the road. 6-10-2 now on the road. Colorado 19-0-2 at home. The Leafs in their most recent games, they are 7-0-2 in their last 9 games. 6-3 against Pittsburgh, 7-5 against Ottawa, 3-2 overtime loss to Detroit, 4-0 win against New Jersey, 6-5 win against Winnipeg. Of course, both teams struggling. 4-3 overtime loss to the Islanders, and then 3 wins in a row, beating Florida, Philly, and Vancouver. Now, 3 games in a row under for Toronto. They've gone under 5.5 in 3 games in a row. Colorado's won back-to-back games, 8-2 against Ottawa, ending their 2-game losing streak, and then a 4-0 win against the Columbus Blue Jackets in their last game. How do these two teams do against each other? Colorado 3-2 in the last 5 meetings. 3 of the last 4 have gone over 6.5. But in Colorado, 13 of the last 14 games in Colorado between these teams have gone over 6.5. The only game that stayed under finished with 6 goals. So it was very close to going over. For some reason, these two teams in Colorado, we tend to get very, very high scoring games. Toronto 4-1-1 in their last 6 games in Colorado. I lean with the over here. Such a heavy over history between these two. But Colorado's gone under 6.5 in 3 of 4. Toronto's gone under 6.5 in 3 games in a row. I just can't get to this over, but it's not going to shock me one bit to see this game be 7-4 or something crazy like that here in this one. So because I do like goals, I think we could get some value with some props here. Starting with John Tavares has a point in 4 of his last 5 games and 8 of his last 10. He's plus 110 to get a point here in this game. Definitely value with him. Ross Colton has a point in back-to-back games, 3 of his last 5, plus 141 for the Avalanche. Brent Burns has a point in back-to-back games, plus 141 for Colorado, and has a point in 5 games in a row against Toronto, and 7 of his last 9. So Brent Burns likes to face the Leafs. Goal streaks, William Nylander scored in 3 games in a row, plus 230. Brent Burns has scored in back-to-back games, plus 600 in this game. And then assist streaks, Tavares 3 of 5, plus 200. Ross Colton 3 of 5, plus 270. And then Makar minus 160. No value there with Makar here in this one. You like the draw, plus 306. All right. His premium play is Stars money line at that price. LOL, just guessing. You will have to wait and see tomorrow. You will find out tomorrow. Or if you go buy the play, you'll find out right now. Drake's favorite goalie is in net for Colorado. Oh, how? Leafs money line looked interesting, but stayed off. There's value, but I don't know. I can't bet against this Colorado team. I just can't. I can't. Nylander returns. Model wanted me to take Leafs money line, and I obviously can't do that. Yeah, see, we're agreeing, Fireside. Like it's tough to bet against this Avalanche team. Although you are getting good value with Leafs here. Loose change, DFS, hockey, and bong rip season continues from Garden City, Colorado. Have a good time. POD DGen. Have fun. Thank you for your time and insight. Good information, content. Smash like button, you filthy animals. Thank you. Appreciate that as always. Over 6.5. Can't talk you off it. Leafs puck line makes sense considering the pace and recent form. Over. I can see that. Both teams to score 3 goals. You could go that way. We'll probably get better value with that than the over, of course. So 6-4 Avs, correct score. All right. And whoa, plus 1.5 or minus, Sweet Pickles? Because if you're saying minus 1.5 for the Leafs, that's a huge plus money play. But I'm going to assume that you're talking about plus 1.5, but let us know. But that is the Monday slate. A lot bigger than usual here on Monday. Let's see what we're looking at for tomorrow. Okay, still decent size for tomorrow. Actually, quite a few games tomorrow. Okay. That's today's episode. Picks on Net, NHL Picks and Stats. As I mentioned earlier, become a YouTube member and get one of my premium plays for today. If you're looking for all premium plays, head over to picksandparlays.net. I'm the number 2 handicapper in 2026 and number 1 NHL handicapper going back till November. So on a great roll right now. Thanks to those that have purchased long-term and short-term subscriptions. I really appreciate it. Let's ride here. Colton assist, great value. All right. Brock has cooled off. Yeah, Brock Nelson. Nylander over 1.5 points, plus 229. All right. This morning, Nathan Point was minus 750. Yeah, not going to get much value. Leafs puck line is plus 420. Wow. Plus 200, both teams to score 3. Plus 600 for both teams to score 4. All right. T, did you cover the Oilers? Yes. We covered the Oilers game just a few minutes ago. You just missed it. Naturally, Leafs reverse puck line is plus, because you got to be smoking. Yeah. But hey, if you call that with the way the Avs have not lost in regulation at home, that would be a great call. Share, like, subscribe. Yes. Thank you, Poddy Jen. No, I meant minus 1.5 is plus. Oh, okay. Wow. Okay. So, Sweet Pickles likes the Leafs. Big time here. Big time. You know what's about to happen at Fireside? That Brock will score today. Yeah, it could. Yeah. I think I've watched you for over 2 years. Just wondering what your day job is, Terry. I have a morning job, but I'll keep it private on what it is. But most of my main job is to make you guys money. So that's my main job here. I think Connor Bedard has a goal, a good night versus McDavid. He has a good night. All right. We'll see. I put him on the thumbnail for a reason. So there you go. But thank you for watching. Hit the like and subscribe button. Appreciate all the new viewers. Of course, all the viewers that watch for a long time. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow for another episode. Picks on Net, NHL Picks and Stats. Thanks, guys.